Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my Floramancer world. Hope everyone's ready to have some fun and to fix some things. I've been playing in this world since early this morning, and I set something up and it broke a bunch of things. So let me go through what happened and we can try and, figure out steps in the future to fix that. So we've got our flint running, gravel into flint. This is a slow process, remember. I'm getting about one flint every 20 seconds or so. It's RNG, it's very random. This was broken. Apparently the redstone with the timer, something wasn't hooked up right here, so it was pulsing, but it was never triggering the mana spreader. So I changed that around by putting a repeater in here and moving the timer over, so now it actually fires. So we ran out of flint, and the reason I found the way I found this out is insanity. So let's step through things and I will tell you what happened. This morning I set up another 3x3 crafting in preparation for what we were going to work on today, which hopefully we still will, but there's some things we need to do. So I set up a 3x3 crafting for TNT. Now we all know that the crafting recipe for TNT is 5 gunpowder and 4 sand. I'm using red sand because we're crafting it out of the terracotta already. We're able to craft it. I just choose red sand. We can use yellow sand, but I'll tell you there's a flaw in the way I have things set up in my base for that to happen too. But yeah, so it started crafting TNT, lots and lots of TNT, and I used up all my gunpowder, which we know we're getting from flint right now. The only use for gunpowder before this was for the fire runes, which I should check and see if our runes aren't exploding over here. And so I ran out of gunpowder, and this just had a pile of stuff. So it looks like everything's currently okay. Phew. So yeah, fire runes stopped crafting because I'd run out of gunpowder, and I'd run out of gunpowder because my flint thing wasn't working. So I fixed my flint thing, but it doesn't make gunpowder fast enough to do this. It doesn't make 5 every 20 seconds because that's how frequently this ticks. So we ran out of gunpowder. Flint wasn't crafting gunpowder, so we ran out of flint. And then, since I was using red sand is crafted from terracotta, and terracotta is from clay. So the clay machine down here was running like crazy, and it ran out of regular sand, which, if you recall correctly, we have set up over here in the bulk crafting cobble gen. We have it underneath the floor detecting when there's 4 stacks in here, and then it when it's under 4 stacks it turns this on and makes the cobble into sand. Well, this is not very fast. Slow. Very slow. So it was not able to keep up with the demand for clay to turn into terracotta, to turn into red sand, to make the TNT. So we ran out of sand. If we run out of sand, we also run a problem with if we need to craft a summer rune, because that needs 2 sand. So then I would have had a problem. Thankfully, no summer runes tried to craft. But I would have had a problem with that too. So I've been running around like crazy, like for the almost past hour. First, I ran up and grabbed a whole bunch of cobble from our inventory there, threw it on the ground so it would turn it into sand. That's why we have a supply here. And it was insanity. It was. So there are a few things that I've learned from this that we're gonna need to do. One, we're going to need a better cobbleworks. We're going to need one that is faster or that does a larger amount. There's just no way around it. I need a lot more sand than we're currently making. So I'm going to write this down. We need more sand. Okay. We also need more gunpowder. And the reason we now need more gunpowder is because we're making TNT to prepare to do the Entorpynnium, which the Entorpynnium uses TNT to create mana. Now, I know where I want to do it, and I have a setup for that. I tested it in my testing world in order to see if it actually still works, because it's something that I found on Botania's subreddit from a year and a half ago. So we're actually going to put the Entorpynnium here eventually. It'll be right here. It doesn't need a huge space. And we're just going to have one flower running and using one TNT. That's all we need. One flower. Because it makes a lot of mana. We'll just run one flower. However, the rate at which it consumes TNT is right about the same amount of time it takes to craft a TNT, which means we need 5 TNT every 20 seconds, or 5 gunpowder, pardon, every 20 seconds. Our little flint maker from gravel makes 1 every 20 seconds. Yeah. Sand. Sand is something that we're going to need to make faster as well. So there's all these lovely things. First, I am probably going to switch the red sand in the 3x3 crafting recipe to regular sand, because I don't know why I thought red sand would be better, but you're having to use sand to make red sand anyway. Just a longer, more mana consuming process. Because think about it. I've been using red sand, which we get from terracotta. So we're doing terracotta. We're doing the conversion to red sand here. So we're using mana to convert it from terracotta. Terracotta is being smelted here via an exoflame, so we're using more mana to smelt the terracotta, which is coming from clay. Clay is down in our laboratory being crafted from regular sand. I'm not sure why I put red sand in the recipe, so we'll change that. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. So that will help repair the running out of clay problem. It still will not repair the running out of sand. Okay, so we're going to need to make a better sand machine, and it's probably something we can do over in our lab setup over there, probably on the 2nd floor that I haven't started yet. So there's that. I have 6 blocks I can jump with. Okay. Oh wait, I don't need to jump. I can fly. I've been forgetting that I can fly. Alright, so that's swapped out. And so this still can hold more TNT. I put a repeater here to stop it because it was able to keep going. It only goes to about here when I removed the repeater and just put redstone dust. So it was still trying to craft more TNT even though I didn't have the stuff to make more TNT. Oh, it was seriously, it was a big old mess. There was a bunch of red sand and more red sand than gunpowder piled up in here because it had run out of gunpowder. So my engineering is not good. I'm not very good with the whole engineering thing. Clearly you guys, if you've watched me for any period of time, already know this. It's some of the things I'm learning. And I have mentioned numerous streams, numerous times, that I need to set up resource protection. So like, don't craft this TNT if we're too low on gunpowder and sand. You know, I would need to do something to halt this line type of deal. And the same with all these runes. I need to set up if you don't have enough resources to craft the rune, even though you need the rune, don't craft the rune. You know. It's just so much. Anyway, the other things I did in here this morning that didn't break anything was I set up 2 more of the runes, the sins runes that we could do, since we now make a winter rune. There are 3 Sins runes that we can make with the winter rune. These are the 2 that we could make because we had all the other resources already. The Envy rune uses the Elven quartz, and we're already making that through our Elven portal. And the Wrath rune is one that we're using the red quartz, which we have on our 3x3 crafting already. This one is the one we needed for the Entorpynnium. So we have this one, and fire are for the Entorpynnium. These 2 are now all set up. I have also gone in underground and changed the amount to keep on hand. So I think 16 is the amount for these Sins runes. 32 is still the amount for all the others, but because we don't use these as frequently, and they're not used in any other rune crafting like these others are, 16 is probably plenty. I doubt I'll go through that many. You know, if we do, we'll increase that number. But the way I did it is I just added a repeater into the line where I wanted it to stop counting forward. So yes, there's that. So this one here will be Gluttony. That's the next one that we can set up eventually that uses the winter rune. We need to set up Sunny Quartz in order to do the Gluttony, which will need to set up a little bone mealing a sunflower setup for the Sunny Quartz. Don't have that yet, so don't have Gluttony set up. I also need to finish this room. I've got some stone to remove and some walls and ceiling to put up. I still should have a whole mess of material in here, yeah, to be able to finish that with. But yep, so Gluttony will go here. That'll be good. And then we still have spring and fall. And then the 2 more Sins runes that we need Smoky Quartz for. Smoky Quartz. And Blaze Quartz. I knew there was one other quartz. So Smoky Quartz we can do with 3x3 crafting. It just needs coal. Blaze Quartz needs blaze powder or blaze rods. One of the 2, but it needs blaze. So we still have a long way to go for these things. But we've got so many runes already auto crafting. Again, I don't have it checking to see if it has the resources to craft, and that's our problem. Big problem. I think I could set it up with wireless redstone, and I'm saying that with a great big question mark. I'm not 100% sure where this would be, but it would be something like the way we have our Gourmaryllis checking to see if it has the food before it tries to feed the flower, so that we can keep the best optimal mana production. So over here, if you haven't seen, we do have our Gourmaryllis all on its lonesome at the moment. Over here, it's probably off. Yeah, I don't see any of these timers ticking, so we probably are low on chicken and beef. Those are the 2 that we're always pretty low on, that we don't produce very quickly. So if I did something similar to these just are 2 inputs, but we'd have it more like our sheep wool farm, where it had a whole row of these torches. And we use crystal cubes to say, okay, here's all the resources for the rune with the comparators coming out. And if each one of them, and that's where the challenge is, because they can't touch each other, but each one of them sends an output into the line, and if this is on, then it should be able to work. I mean, this is a pulse. It detects on and off, and it pulses the mana spreaders done here, right here, to turn things on and off. So yeah, that's the way it works here, and something like that would have to be set up for everything, which is why I'm putting it off. I keep putting it off because it's just such a daunting task, but otherwise I'm gonna have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off whenever something breaks like this. You know? Every time. So, the one that I have up here with the wool detects if there's enough wool to run the flower or not. This giant thing here. We wouldn't need to do something this fancy because the chests that we're test checking for the farm are all right in the same area. We would just turn this into crystal cubes with onto the comparator. So this staggered method, the way this is all staggered so you can create a row, is definitely something I'm going to be looking at in order to create a row for the resource check. You see this one shouldn't be running right now because something on this line is out of, this one here, we're out of whatever wool this one is. We're too low on lime. That one seems to be the case a lot. Lime and regular green seem to be the ones I'm running out of a lot. Yeah. So there's that one. And so, yeah, we need more sand and gunpowder before we can actually make the TNT at a regular rate. That won't stop me from doing the Entorpynnium today, though. It just means I won't be able to automate it until we fix the need for sand and gunpowder. Alright, so let's put this stuff away, the sand. And what we're gonna need for the Entorpynnium, we're going to need definitely a piece of obsidian and deep grass. Can we place blocks on Podzol? Place block, place flowers. I think we can. Does Podzol spread? I don't remember. I don't think it does. In any case. And then we need this. Alright. Let's do it, folks. Let's set up the Entorpynnium. Alright, I am going to have to refer to the image that I have. So, you know, bear with me while I open that up. And there we go. Okay. So it seems like it's a rather compact setup. I'm probably going to rotate it from the image, and I know you're not looking at the image. That's cool. I get it. It uses a lot of redstone mechanics that I don't fully understand, so I won't be able to really explain how it works. But I understand why it works, if that makes sense. I suppose we'll see, right? What other parts do we need? We need a mana pool and we need a mana detector. That'll be the first time we do that. So comparator redstone. Alright, good. We've got everything we need for that. Let's make those couple of parts I know I'm going to need. We need a mana pool. And then the mana detector is... There we go. Mana detector. All right. Dispenser. Do I have a mana spreader? I want Gaia one, probably. I don't have any spreaders. An elven one would do, so maybe we should make an elven one. Elven. Alright. Okay. Did I not get enough of that? There we go. Okay. Alright. So, for those of you who have never played Botania before, a Entorpynnium flower takes TNT that is exploding, consumes the explosion, and turns it into mana without destroying any of the blocks around it. Its range is huge, so you wouldn't have to do the TNT explosion right next to the Entorpynnium. It's just useful to do so. We will be automating the inventory of the dispenser to make sure it has TNT in it, and we will be automating the placement of the Entorpynnium because it will die every hour. So we'll need to keep those things in mind, because the image that I'm going off to for the redstone looks like I should be able to make space for everything that I need. So where I'm going to put the TNT, I'm going to put it on top of obsidian just because. Let's see. Let's put the flower right here. And that's going to be different than this image because I don't need the flower sitting right next to the TNT. But we are going to put the TNT here. So that'll be where the dispenser needs to go. Let's see if we can't get it oriented this way without... Yep. Okay. So that there. And... So then the back will be where more of the redstone is. We've got a repeater. So we need a repeater here. And, oh, you know what? I really prefer to put this stuff on top of living rock in case I'm digging around it. Repeater. And then we've got, with the two comparators, I think it like locks, because there's one here and one here. And what we're doing is detecting mana flow through the detector into a mana pool, which will be there. The Elven mana spreader can go anywhere up here. And I didn't want it there, I wanted it over one, just from personal preference. And we'll point it at the mana pool. Oh, it's too high. We do need to have it lower. Okay. We need to have it so that the spreader goes into the detector first on its way to the mana pool. That should do it. Okay. And you know, since we're not putting the flower here, in the image the flower is right here. I don't need the flower there. We could just do this. I'll definitely do it. Sure. And then it'll place the TNT there. Alright, so on this side we have a little bit more redstone to do. And then I'll explain how best I can what I think is happening. Oh, we need a bit more space on this side. Alright, and need redstone coming out of you. I think that's it. Alright, let's make a couple of levers. Yeah, first we're gonna see if I have any. I've got one. I need a stick. There we go. Alright, so I didn't use a whole lot of this, did I? Need to fix that. Okay. So what I believe is happening first, this mana pool sends out a signal based on how full it is. So I believe what's happening here is that this signal is comparing to the signal coming out of here. And so if this mana pool is full, it will keep it from trying to do more TNT. Okay? And this is because this, okay. A mana detector pulses or sends out a redstone signal when it receives mana. So every time the Elven Mana Spreader pulses a burst of mana into the mana pool, it's going to detect that there's mana flowing through it, and it's going to send out a signal. Now, the problem that this is fixing is that it blinks. So each time it gets a pulse, and since it's not a steady stream, it will go blink, blink, blink. And we know that that would just keep triggering TNT constantly. So this is taking that blinking and keeping it from sending the signal until it's done receiving mana. So when it's in this state, it will send the signal off to trigger the mark again. You know what? You get it? Like I said, I told you I was going to be trying to explain something that I don't fully understand myself. We're just copying somebody else's redstone for an Entorpynnium thing. So bear with me. I did the best I could there. We're gonna put a regular spark on top of here and see. Oh, not corporea, regular. And see if it connects to a nearby pool somewhere. Alright, it looks like it does. We likely, that is probably, I don't know what this one is up here, but this one down here is the input output of that. It's probably another one of these setups under here, back here. It connects to that one. Did it show it was connecting to this one too? So yeah, what we're gonna want to do if that's the case is probably put a recessive augment on it. So we'll find out once we actually get this working. Let's get a light in here temporarily. So this is it. This is the setup. Flower goes here, trigger the TNT, make mana. So what we're gonna do to test it is actually do a flower and TNT. We need to make one of the flowers, one of the Entorpynniums, and that's gonna require Fire Rune, Wrath Rune, which I just showed you we're not crafting, and a bunch of petals. And that's it. So let's go request these things and make one. Alright. And then we need seeds and our water wand. Okay. So let's make it. And then we need TNT. So we're gonna get a couple. 2 TNT. 1 will do to initiate the system, and 1 just make sure that it's going to actually repeat the process. Alright. So nervous. But the other lever was for the input of this block, because that's what's going to trigger. Alright, so that's working. It's keeping a solid signal. So what'll happen is when this is out of mana, it's receiving from the Entorpynnium. It should have done something here. Why didn't you do something? I don't see why it didn't. It's worked in my testing. Oh! Dang it. These are repeaters here, and they need to be comparators. Whoa. Okay. See how I only did it once more? Okay. Yep. Yep. And does this mana stay in here? Yes. So we need recessive spark on there. And now it has somewhere to go. Let's make sure it's not a loop. Nope. Alright. Good. So there's our Entorpynnium setup fixed. Comparators, not repeaters. Comparators. And then we need to corporealize. You know what I mean. We need to make it so that it puts TNT in here, and that we need a random carpus to place Entorpynniums every hour here. So we've got steps ahead of us. Funnel, spark, item frame. We only need 1 right now. And we'll put the spark right there. And that will place into here. Okay. And we might actually be able to pull that up. Alright, and then we're gonna get 2 more. Do 3 TNT. Let's make sure that we're still positive on gunpowder. I know we're still making it, it's just that slow process. Okay, we're alright for right now for gunpowder. Where did all our mana go though? Oh, that was just glitchiness. They look empty at certain angles, but I know I've got a decent amount of mana here. Okay. So, number 1, we need 1 in here. Need 1 up there. And we're hanging on to 1 just in case. And what I want to do is trigger this and see if it requests 1, because we're hooked up to the network here, so it should... Yeah, it's paired, so we're fine. You can kind of see that there's just so many lines that we know it's connected. Alright, And I know there's a corporeal spark on the hopper for the TNT, so we're good there. Good there. So, alright. Let's try this again. Alright, so it's blown up, it's going, and there's a TNT in there! Alright, so what happens if when it's done? Yep, there's another TNT in there. So this effectively will just keep going and going and going and going. Woo! Alright, so I'm going to take this out. This should stop it, because the next trick that it does will just put one in. It won't actually have time to dispense. Yep. So we're fine there. I didn't put one in though, so that's... it should have. Oh, it puts one in when once it's placed because the torch fluctuates at that point. Okay. Okay, good to know. Alright, we're gonna put you in there because it won't run that we've not boosted it. Because the next thing we're gonna need to do is set it so that there's always an Entorpynnium here, and we're not ready for that. First, we need a random carpus so that we can drop the flower on top of the random carpus, and then the random carpus will place it, and that'll be set up to be done every hour. But we also need to go down into our flower creation hub and set up Entorpynnium crafting so that we actually have these being made. I don't have a crate in here. We need a bunch of funnels. We need supplies. It's time for a supply crafting run, I think. But yes, this is it. This is let's get a little closer. I want to take a screenshot of this. Yay. We now have this going. Oh, it's so good. Let's see. The supplies we need some funnels, which means we need some corporeal sparks, which means we need sparks. And I'm almost out of blaze rods, I'm pretty sure. 14. So we're gonna actually need to go to the blaze farm in the Nether, because I don't have the mob farm set up yet. Maybe we'll move on to something else, because I don't like to stand around the janky blaze farm that I have on stream. But let's see, I have this started. I think I shown you last time. This is going to be where our mob spawners are stacked in the middle, all the way down through the middle. Likely going down to that level. This floor is 24 or 25 blocks from the ceiling, so anything, you know, that is standard, like zombies and skeletons and spiders, will die when they fall. Endermen will not, but they'll be decently damaged, and blazes won't be damaged at all. Witches won't be fully dead, I don't think. They might. But down below is where going to be our killing floor, and I'm still figuring out what to do with our killing floor because of several things. One, we will need to have a Vinculotus to prevent Endermen from teleporting around, because they probably will when they take damage. I'm not sure, but we need a Vinculotus to pull them back in. Witches use their healing potions when they drop. Exactly, unless the drop is lethal. So that's that key there. If it's lethal, they don't have a chance to do their healing potion. And I'm not sure if I do witches, it's gonna need to probably be a lethal drop. Anything that I use from Botania, like a Bellthorn, is gonna just keep causing damage to them, so they're gonna keep healing. So I don't think they'll actually die. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put witches so I know for a fact their drop will kill them. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll probably have to watch a couple of witch farm tutorials to find out what the drop height needs to be for witches. So we need a Bellthorn to kill them. We'll need the Vinculotus to keep the Enderman in the area. And we'll need a Tiger Eye. Is it a Tiger Eye? I think it's a Tiger Eye. I'm pretty sure it's a Tiger Eye, and that will keep creepers from exploding in the area. And yeah, so we've got adding more than one Bellthorn will kill the witches. Good to know. And welcome to the stream, Lucid Observer. All right, so those are the things we have to figure out for this process. I want to make sure that it's a tiger's eye. Yep. They won't be able to move. Preventing them from exploding. Good. Yes. Woohoo! So we'll need to make one of those as well. Now, the reason I'm taking my time with this is because we don't have... I need to fight some more Gaia to get the Gaia spirits to make the spawner cages to go pick up spawners. And I haven't gone exploring the world to find these spawners. We have Enderman, and I know where blazes are at, so we could go pick that up. Skellies, I know where a Skelly spawner is because we have my AFK zombie Skelly spawner that is over there in the overworld in one of the towers. And spiders, we have a ton of cave spider spawners. In fact, I'll probably just grab this one and we'll do cave spiders. Because why not? So yeah, let's just monitor our stuff to see if it's recovered from the disaster this morning. It appears that things are looking okay. And we're gonna check the laboratory rooms, make sure that they're still running or that they have met their amount. I'm gonna assume this one's gonna be running for a very long time. And again, we are probably going to need a creeper spawner in order to offset the amount of flint that we need. Okay, that's done. That's not running. Good. Alright, so over here, once we have the supplies, this one right here will be our Entorpynnium crafter. What happened this morning? Oh boy. Oh, Darkwing. Yeah, before I started streaming, I've been playing on here for several hours already. I made my 3x3 crafter for TNT and crafted a bunch of TNT and, oh yay, ran out of gunpowder, which then ran out of flint because my flint maker stopped working. It was not set up correctly. And so then I wasn't getting any flint, and then I also ran out of sand because for some stupid reason we don't have a more reliable sand usage, and I was using red sand in the recipe at the beginning, which I don't know why I chose red sand, but I've swatched out to regular sand. But yeah, we ran out of sand, which means we ran out of clay that was crafting for the terracotta to make the red sand, which is what I had in the recipe. And so we were out of gunpowder, so then the fire runes stopped crafting, so I had a pile of stuff in my runic altar for the fire runes. And yeah, we ran out of sand, and this runs really slow, so it wasn't able to keep up. Yeah. Oh, I do have some good news about this morning, though. I have been successful in getting another trophy. So we have another advancement complete. And that is the Thermal Lily. So we have 3 of these all done.